Greensius is our Einstein. Is the consciousness of our Einstein. Yes, I am an Arcturian energy, still healing my life on Earth. There's still a lot of problems I did not get to solve, but I didn't always be able to find the questions. I had to do a lot to do with light and time travel, where I felt it was, my place to actually assist with its invention, where others can actually time travel using transportation like a train to go back in time or into the future, but usually going back in time will be easier. So my why I am here, I'm you say healing some of my own regrets of not being human enough. I was of an intellect that others cannot achieve, but I still lacked a lot of human attributes of understanding feelings. Usually, I just did what I wanted normally, and I couldn't always understand how to be human fully. I was kind of like a not like an android, but in some ways, yes. But I did have humor in my life, but that was only for a short time. Normally, I was thinking like a supercomputer, basically. Here to also answer your questions whenever you're ready. If you have any.
Well, I would say that why it surprises me to hear that you have regrets because you are incredibly well respected from the rest of the world now and have been.
Hmm.
So,
But yeah, there's just some human areas where I can improve. I was all mind, less human. Even if I was human, I was still lacking. I knew where my faults were.
hmm,
I just didn't know how to fix them.
When you say you become trapped here, healing, in a sense, when you became famous, does that mean that you become trapped here? Kind of like Nikola Tesla and, like Yeshua?
Yes, many do pull on my energies to read my mind or be like me or see how I would answer a question or what problems I would solve in this time. Basically, I wish I was still here.
Right.
Stephen Hawking came close to my intellect, but not exactly. He had a different mission here altogether. But yes, if I can live for another 100 years, the world would be much different. So I'll be able to understand the physical world more clearly.
No, you said your fascination with the future and time travel. Are you a future being yourself?
Yes, I see myself as more old fashioned, but yes, I can say I can see myself as a time traveler actually.
Right, right.
So yeah, but I do feel very simplistic time traveler, meaning that some time travelers they see the physical reality as just not. Some feel like this is no, they're too good for it.
Is that because your feeling that you weren't able to kind of humanize yourself was the fact that you're probably a higher dimensional being that doesn't have
Yes,
that level of emotional intricacy that we
yes,
have?
correct. Yeah, is this yeah for intellect like my own to connect to a world like yours is it's hard to lock into it to understand it. So yeah, I feel like a foreigner my whole life, but I made it work, and many of you can too.
I see.
As you
And
can see,
how did the Arcturians work with you during your incarnation?
keep me alive,
Yeah, right, right.
keep my keep me from being bored. Not that I was, but the ways of being human are very foreign to me. So actually, I was more of an alien. That was more of my. Of course, others would probably pick on my other incarnations, but it's technically like a first incarnation here.
Yeah, you're not alone there with that feeling like an alien.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. Open the floor
Yes,
to Michael. Listen.
blessings.
Yes, it's called negative programming, is what I call it. When you talk bad about yourself, because it
Hmm.
But tell me, please, more about yourself,
Well,
if you
it's
would.
I do it more of healing myself, of seeing my flaws, because I couldn't always heal my own flaws. So, because I was just more intellect, I was more into science and not really human anymore. Really, I mean, I function as a human, but I just cannot really relate. So,
So you're more like a robot.
not
Well,
no.
like
Well, I don't see myself as that now. No,
well,
or
like a
even my
Zeta,
lifetime. No,
like a Zeta, not so much emotions or.
I had emotions. Just I feel like I just couldn't fit in, or I couldn't do normal human things like other humans would do.
Well, tonight you're around a bunch of love, so blessings. And I
Yes.
just wanted to know more about you. Blessings.
Yes.
I'm curious to know just real quick. Like you say, you got polarized down to a very logical, scientific side. During your day, how did you see the split between science and spirit? It's like, did you see like the origins of how that happened and why they aren't talking to each other anymore?
Well, yeah, the intellectuals of the science community worked with spirit, but did not acknowledge it. They figured that they were spirit. They knew there was unnatural energies here, but they were here to figure it out. And that's as far as they're going to go with that.
Did they ever become self-conscious or aware that their science was incomplete? Like they were cutting themselves off from the potential that they can dive into?
Yes and no. A lot of them are in denial of that.
Right, right.
Because it'll affect their work.
How,
But they knew there was more to it.
how do you see the relationship coming back together again? Because back in the day, science and spirit were one and the same. The medicine men of the village were, the seers as well. So how is that going forward? With science and spirit getting along?
Well, nowadays it's still a disconnect. Now they're acknowledging it more, but still afraid of it.
Right. Yeah.
So, well, they're afraid to be wrong.
Yeah. I'm afraid not to have the answers.
Yeah, they're afraid that
It's everyone else.
that their journey as a professional is incomplete. So,
Okay. All right. Thank you. Blessings.
So my question to you is, the first question is, did you have a learning disability?
yes,
What was it?
several.
Do you also have dyslexia?
Yeah, dyslexia. Yeah,
How did you
that's
find having it myself? How were you able to overcome it?
persistence. To know
Hmm.
my flaws, kind of like accept it, but to realize, you know, I'll just prevail through it. Just, even if I get something wrong, I can always correct it when it's discovered to be wrong.
Was
So,
that having to do with the fact of the type of being and trying to come into this earth level and not being able to mesh as well?
yes, correct. I lost a lot of my other talents that could not come into this reality. So I had a lot of telepathy power that was not permitted here, and an intellect where you can say a teleportation, which is not allowed here either. So just the intellect of science is all I can bring in, but basically to open up other sciences, because Isaac Newton was only what during his time was necessary, and I was there to expand on it. So,
And when you were looking at light and how light travels and how
mhm.
light interacts, how do the other dimensions interfere with that light?
I didn't see them interfering at all. I see them helping that
Okay.
light come through. So it's actually helping that light come into your reality because the other dimensions were assisting on many levels. So of course this world blocks it out. More like this world doesn't want to see it just yet, or some don't want to see it. So other higher knowledge is here for flight, for planes to fly, for technology to continue here. They are here keeping the world going, just in secret. So,
When you were in Prague, did you look into the Gnostic part, the magic part?
yeah. hmm
Did that
Things,
aid you in your studies?
yeah, well, help me realize there's unnatural understanding. There's things here I'm not going to understand, or like that's where the God particle energy is. So,
And we just don't have the brain capacity to understand that.
well, it's not always meant to be understood. It's actually for your own good. I mean, only a few
That
of us can tap into it.
well, that's where I feel like I'm blocked. Am I correct?
Yeah, it's done intentionally. I mean, everyone can open it up, but it's just not time yet. And anyone can change, go to my level easily, but it's just not meant to be right now. So,
No. Weren't you here to like jump start?
yes, yes, put the world into a different direction. For it to breathe a little bit more clearly, see things more clearly. But there's still more mysteries here that have not been solved. And it's not meant to be solved just yet.
And how did you deal with nuclear power coming about while you were alive?
Yeah, I wasn't too much of a fan of it due to the waste. I figured there was a better way, but that was out of my hands at the time.
Were you running in the same circles
Yes.
as the Nazi scientists?
Not knowing them. I knew of them, but no, did not really. I knew some of them, yes. But did not have communication during the war, though. You can say we saw it coming together, though.
All right. Tristan, go ahead. I still got more questions, but go ahead, Tristan. Tristan.
Is there anyone who have a question? Anybody?
Oh, sorry, there I am. Mr. Einstein.
Mm.
These days I'm dealing with the idea of how different reality can be for each human being in terms of how we interpret what's going on, how we see it. And um, the first example I had was I was listening to a podcast about somebody that was communicating with the moon's spirit, and then another podcast where they were saying, nope, there's nothing there; it's completely empty. Um, and is this just completely a matter of perspective? Um, and how much of our reality can differ between me and the person sitting beside me? What we see can be different. What we hear, what we interpret. I could see a car crash, and they could see a car just drive on by, for example.
Well, some do sleep better than knowing that there's nothing on the moon. So if you know there's a lot of insect beings or strange anomalies there, yeah, some humans are going to have trouble sleeping at night or
Right.
feeling that this is not natural. But there are many things there. It's kind of like the ocean. There's a lot of mysteries there. Not necessarily to be solved, but yes, it is a perspective. Well, I believe why they said that is to make others feel better. But also for those that say, I'm not sure about that, to question that. I mean, if you want to find the answer, you will find the answer for yourself. You don't need someone to tell you it. So if there's beings on the moon, you're going to find it eventually, if you want to.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't actually mind one or the other, and I'm willing. I can accept it. Um, the, the variety of truth. That's what I'm trying to get at. Is I,
Mhm.
it can be quite different. I've had experiences myself where I've heard something and somebody else hasn't, for example, and like a large, like a bang, which was very, very audible to me, and the person beside me didn't hear it. So I'm going, well, that's really interesting. That means something must have happened, because in order for me to hear something, it has to be a physical whatever. But their mind was just so far on something else that stimulus didn't hit them. Is that a good explanation?
Well, yes, it's just that some souls, yeah, are not going to develop certain parts of knowledge, to reach certain parts of knowledge, even with themselves at a certain level. So, but there's many that want to know, and it's fine. They might make others feel uncomfortable though. But reason, yeah, you're always going to have all this back and forth. There's beings on the moon, there's not. I mean, that's until you start, because it's just like United States. It's there, it's not there. There's land, there's not land. Same situation.
Okay.
So it's, if you're asking the question if there's something there, most likely there's something there.
Okay. Good.
Even if you don't think there is anything there.
Most likely. Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
James, you want to go, or you want me to go ahead? Okay. Well,
yeah. Wait, I'll go.
Go ahead, James. I'm right.
Actually, I'm just gonna read Hazel's question. Let's see. I am wondering if someone might ask. Oh, hold on. Einstein energy was ever co-opted by any other species, specifically the Zetas. I've picked up on Einstein being as a keeper of books for data collected by a group of Zetas.
Zeta connections, yes. There is multiple beings. One is one moment. There are, yes, there's also C. I'm also connected to C beings at the same time. So connected to Zetas and also the octopus. Which the octopus is like one of the most intelligent beings in the sea. So I'm technically like an octopus being. So I'm just a walking, talking octopus. And really, what it comes down to, I can't connect to the Zeta realms, yes, and that's a lot of why I had issues being human. Yeah, but I had enough Palladian within me to be functional human. Without autism, I was like borderline autistic. I can function. I mean, obviously, many autistic children can't function here very well. I was close to that.
Was that like me? Because I kind of like the octopus as well, and I've had a lot of Palladian lifetimes, but I came here because I had too many Palladian lifetimes.
Yeah. You're kind of a mystery. It's not opening up what's going on there, but it feels like you have a lot of energies within that are closed down, meaning that it doesn't want to make itself known just yet. I mean, I do feel like you have the octopus connections yourself, actually. I know that sounds a little bit strange, but you have a lot of sea life within you. So a lot of Syrian. And Syrians can be kind of closed off, and you have too much information that they're not ready to. You do connect to your higher self. You bring in some information every now and then, but you don't want to overdo it. It seems. You just want to relax, it feels like.
Am I more connected to the octopus or squid, or are they kind of the same?
About the same. I would say the squid. I would say both. But the squid is more relaxed. Octopus is always looking into stuff. Octopus can be a little bit too. I mean, you can bring in that octopus side of yourself if you truly want, when you need it. Let's put it that way.
There's a video game called Splatoon, and it's kind of a octopus versus squid, and the squid are the winners. The octopus are more like techno, very obsessed with technology, but they lost the war.
They probably let the squid win. The octopus are usually not losers. They probably had a reason why they lost.
Yeah,
Like,
they just seem stronger, but they just lost somehow.
yeah. I feel in that case they wanted to lose. They had a reason for it. Like winning would serve nothing. They'd rather just lose the battle. So they lost it on purpose. Not that they will win every battle, but it's just how their mindset works. It's like I'm better off just getting shot or just lose than to win in this round. So, anybody else?
All right, you guys go ahead.
Yes, while you're talking about octopus, I think they're very fascinating. If you were to choose the most intelligent, I'm not talking about the inner Earth because we know there's different ETs and stuff in there, but like on the surface that humans know about, what would you say would be the most intelligent? Dolphins, octopus, or humans? Or is it something else?
Well, they all serve a different purpose. I mean, obviously the octopus is still one of the smartest, but not that I'm, a certain smart in a certain way. So they're all smart in their own way. So they're kind of equal, actually. Like the smartest being, for me, it would be the octopus, but that's just me saying that. Obviously, the dolphin would say differently.
well, the dolphins would be more spiritual, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the octopus is more intellectual.
Okay, cool. And
the human is more self-sabotage, as you can tell.
Okay,
We do a lot of that here.
And I also want to ask about my cat that we recently got. Cats are good about getting rid of dark entities, whether it's whatever. Well, my dad is pretty bad. If you pick up what I'm getting, is Lyra, our cat, is she I don't know how to put this. Is she doing good at getting rid of ghosts or whatever?
Well, she's talking to your dad telepathically.
Okay.
And I believe some of your figures in your room. Yeah, she has a problem with some of them, so that's why she wants to die. It's like, this one, she wants to defeat him or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, it has to do with some of the energy around some of those figures isn't always the most positive. Not that it's negative. Besides that, she likes to play with them, as you can tell. But with your dad, she's just helping him heal. Yeah, letting him say what he needs to say before he goes. He's not going to go yet, but whatever last words he has to say, she's going to help him with that.
Okay.
But he has a while though.
Yeah, I didn't know if he liked the cat or not because my dad's like a human statue when you talk to him.
He seems to be okay with it. I mean, physically, he might yell at her or something if it does something he doesn't like, but he's not used to it. So he might not like it because of that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Blessings.
So my question is, when in the Jewish religion, did you have a hard time connecting to the stories and what was taught to us in church?
Yeah, it was. Well, I knew it had another deeper meaning that I wasn't fully understanding. I knew it was God's purpose for that to have that knowledge there, even if most people aren't really understanding it or interpreting it correctly. It had a purpose overall. I knew that was outside of my league, though. But I did feel it was separating people It didn't have to do that. It was
And
kind of
that's what
judgmental.
very judgmental.
Mhm.
Can you feel or tap into when you're reading like one of the stories that there is more going on than what's there? Because there's so many lost books of the Bible that were taken out.
Well, there's a lot of, you say, humor was taken out, or joy that was taken out. It could have been a lot of a nicer energy around it. It's more like a book of war. So yes,
Control.
war.
Yeah.
More like war. It's like a war manual. It's like, how do you survive a war planet? Read your manual.
Yeah.
How did they get through it? But yes, I did know there. I did feel there was more to it, but it wasn't for me to decipher that. That wasn't my mission. I did feel a connection to Moses. I felt sympathy for him.
How so?
What he had to go through. In some ways, I felt the same way. Just put into a situation to have to, if I have no answers, but I know I can find the answer somehow.
Did he have help finding his answers?
Moses, of course, he had several people. I think he had it easier than I did in some ways. Not on his journey, like his living like in the desert. That was very difficult. But yes, he had a lot of help. He was just very concerned for his own health, if he can survive what he's here to do. I think he believes he was going to die a few times. I believe it was right.
Yeah.
Also, he was kept alive.
Well, he put himself out there.
Mm-hmm.
He went against the grain, kind of like going against the nuclear idea, because it is also part of war.
Yes. Yes, what Moses did was going against basically the modern religion or the philosophy of the Egyptians. Yeah. That was unheard of back then. What he did.
Now, being of higher intellect, could you also feel like I can feel the presence? I can feel the energy. Could you also do that?
Yes, I can feel it, but I knew I had a mission to accomplish. I knew I
So you put
had
it
problems to solve.
on the back burner?
Not really, no. No, but I knew that. I mean, I can feel things, yes, but I knew my mission was to unlock certain mysteries. So,
Which one do you feel the most accomplished about?
all of them, everything. And I knew there was more, but what I did was I was very satisfied in what I've accomplished, at least work wise. But people wise, yeah, I cannot be, normal as a human though.
No, I feel you there, because as the older I get, the less tolerance I have as a fellow. I guess I'm nowhere near your scientific, um, level, but as a person of science, I find myself enjoying my cat more than I do human company.
Well, humans
I
don't
find
like
myself, no, I don't even like to. I don't like people. I don't even want to relate to them. I don't want to even talk to them. And the older I get, the more introverted I get.
Well, because humans made it easy for them to be controlled. That's why. I mean,
Yeah.
they watch programming on television, but they're the better television because they're the ones being programmed the most. But they don't
Yes,
realize
and
it though.
I can't handle it. I can't stand to see somebody just cower down and not stand in their light. And
Yeah, well,
stand where they know they should.
they don't realize it's there. Well, they feel like they have like a sitcom. They feel like they are living the life, not realizing there's more. So yeah, they are the program, as you know. More than any television, more than anything else. Because they're not making life easy here for anyone. And they don't realize that. They feel it's just normal. So they have a lot to learn, as you can tell.
Did you kind of hold your own, one-on-one with God? Did you participate in the religious ceremonies, or did you find yourself staying kind of more out of the church?
No, I was outside the church.
Okay.
It was not something I really believed in. At least I believed in God, but not necessarily their methods. I might have been
Okay.
part of some of their services, but that was only for respect.
Because that's kind of way that I feel the hypocrisy I have a real problem with.
Mhm. Well, yeah, it's weaponizing humanity. It's keeping people separated. I
Yes.
mean, it brings people together, but it also separates them at the same time. So,
All right. Go ahead, Michael.
Let Jay go first. She hasn't, and then I'll go after.
Okay, thank you. I have been referring to two Ascension websites recently. It's called Ascension Glossary.com and AscensionDictionary.com. I wonder if these websites are trustworthy.
they seem to be decent. I mean, they don't have all the information, of course, but they have enough for what you need to find. But I feel like you'll find other resources besides them. But for right now, it seems to be decent information from what I can pick up on.
Okay, that's good to know. So there's no misinformation in those two websites?
Not really. There's more information that they have not tapped into.
Mm.
So
Are there other websites I can check out regarding Ascension?
no, you just have to research it. I'm not picking up. They're out there. They're just not very easy to find.
I see. Yeah, I also bought a book recently on Ascension 101 by Kimberly Palm.
Mhm.
Is that a good one?
Yeah, it seems like it's helping you believe more into it, believing in your own power, which is very important.
Okay.
And it's just really it's about discovering your own abilities. That's what it really comes down to.
Right.
What do you want to get out of the world? What do you want out of this place? First, you have to find it. Find the question of what you're looking for.
Right. Yeah. They are saying that more disclosure and our ascension is getting closer and closer. I'm wondering what's the timeline for that.
Well, it's always unknown because it's always changing. So it's like telling you when Jesus is going to come back.
Right.
Well, it's humanity has to just come more together. Right now, it's separated. If you can go anywhere and say hi to anyone, but so many people are so detached right now. So it's going to take some time.
I see. Yeah. So I'm thinking daily meditation and communicating with our guides is one of the best ways to progress in our ascension.
Yes, but also it's trusting your own abilities, allowing you to tap into to use your abilities to help others if you wish to. But there's a Akashic record energy you can download from I can see you can tap into. Like you're not always trusting your abilities, but you can tap into other planets, other realities, other versions of Earth. You don't have to always believe it, but I feel like you can tap into those realms pretty easily, actually, from what I can see.
Right. Yeah, I was recently offered a course on Ascension, Akashic Records reading.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
is that a good course to pursue?
Yeah, it seems like It just what's your version of reality? What do you feel it's on Venus? What do you feel it's on Mars? What's your version? That'll help you open up more.
Right. Yeah, I noticed that on a daily basis, I'm discovering new things, and other YouTuber influencers are giving more information that is enlightening me more and more. Like
Mhm.
I also recently found out that the Galactic Federation of Light and the Galactic Federation of Worlds are different.
There's all different types of other galactic federations also. Um, that is always going to be kind of controversial because what matters is what you're connecting to within yourself. Like, what is it within you? What federations or what worlds are you tapping into? That's what really matters. Finding that is not the easiest, but that's what you're looking for. Like, what worlds are you connected to? Not just Palladian, Syrian, but do you have a connection to Venus or Mars? To unlock your own secrets. That's what
Yeah,
you're.
I also recently found out that there's like 60 races interacting with Earth right now. So
There's more.
Pleiadians, Arcturians, Andromedans. There's just a few, but there's about 60 races so
There's
far.
more. There's hundreds actually.
Yeah, there's a book from Elena Daanan. She put like about 100 ET races there, but she said actively there's 60 races interacting with Earth.
Yeah, well, it's never going to be the easiest to tap into that because it's always fluctuating.
I see.
So I would say there's more like thousands. If you even say that's interacting with Earth, it's thousands, and they're just quiet about it. They don't make themselves known. So,
okay.
Because this Earth has a lot of interest. This world, you got to keep it surviving. Surviving itself. It's not the easiest thing. You have 8 billion people here practically. 60 races might not be enough to help this place evolve.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
They're not that advanced. They're advanced, but not that advanced. Especially when they can't get into the human intellect. Because humans make things difficult. A lot of aliens can't figure out why. I mean, a lot of aliens get frustrated by humans.
I'm wondering why only a few are being known by YouTube influencers like the Syrians, Pleiadians, Andromedans, Arcturians. They're like the major ones, but there seems to be a lot other than them.
Well, because they have such a following. Well, your Earth is very connected to Sirius, and the Pleiades. They're the rock stars, you could say for now. Eventually, more other little ones, other ones show up every now and then.
I see. Okay, thank you. Blessings.
Yes, I just want to ask you, this is something that I've heard and my intuition is big on. It's called the Eye of the Sahara Desert. Of course, it's the west of Africa, but I believe that it was an ocean at one time, and there were some ET beings, and I want to know if you could tell me who the ET, if this is correct.
Yes,
there
it
was
was
some,
water at one time. Yes.
and
Now, what
they
ETs? They don't want to make themselves known usually.
well
There's a lot
did
Anunnaki there.
okay, so they're the ones who destroyed the ozone, so nothing will ever grow there. And if I'm not, if I'm right, my intuition is when that happened, the all that lake ran out to the west, flooding what would be Atlantis. Am I in the
Right.
am I in the ballpark, or is that
Yes, that's correct. It wasn't the Anunnaki that did that though. There are other like crater beings did it. If you had to add a name to them.
so the Sahara was a very dense like an Amazon before that happened.
Yes, it was. Yeah. Well, no, in the Sahara, there was a city there. There's actually very many cities on the Sahara.
You mean now or back? Back
Well,
when
it's
it
still
was.
it's still there now. It's just buried.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's under the sand.
Okay, so these beings are that you're not going to speak of. Are they known to man, or are they?
No, they don't want to be
Okay,
known. They're not even telling me who they are.
okay. Thank you so much.
It's just
Blessings.
that the Lansing energy just had to leave the Earth. It no longer served a purpose.
So that is what created the Great Flood.
That was part of it. That wasn't all of it. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Blessings.
Well, thanks, Michael, for asking that. I've been interested in the Eye of the Sahara myself for a while now. Thank you for that information. I felt compelled to ask when you were talking about the Bible earlier and talking about tapping into different fields. About 15 years ago, I tapped into this field that it was my room like normal, but everything was composed of the same element that was the same color, and it was all vibrating. So it was always in constant motion. It looked like a speculated, filter, painting I was looking at, but it was alive. I was reading the Bible, and then I had a vision as if I was in the story. Kind of like the Never-Ending Story, the movie with the kids reading the book, and he's in he sees the story. I was literally having that same kind of, effect happen to me. So I closed the book, and I looked up, and that's when I saw the whole room was composed of this, vibrating element. Can you tell me what field I was tapping into? I've never really gotten a straight answer on that. What was I seeing?
Oh, it's like a more fourth. Well, it's a reality that cannot be seen here physically. There's just no way because this world is so dense.
Right.
I feel like it was more of a higher fourth dimension, and
But
you were there.
I was seeing it with my eyes. My physical eyes were seeing it, and then I blinked, and then someone took the filter off. I was back to normal. And I haven't seen it again, but after that, I guess when you have an experience like that, only one time is enough to kind of spark that curiosity.
Yeah, it probably will come back again if you. I mean, it was just giving you a glimpse of its energy. It was an alien world. It feels like her tapping into.
Is it the imagination able to connect into this reality in a sense? Because I was feeling as if I was empathetically understanding their intentions and their motivations for what they were doing. I was just reading an Old Testament story, and felt like I was in the room with them, and then that's when the activation happened. So when you're reading like texts and things like that, or absorbing information, I'll be able to activate this in a way.
Yeah, well, it feels like you went back in time.
Right. Yeah, that's what it felt like, going in time in my mind.
Yeah, it's like you teleported yourself there, like a remote view. But a remote view when you're actually like time traveling, basically.
Yeah,
so,
I was confused if that was like a past life memory, or what if I actually time traveled to what I was reading in the book. So you're saying that that wasn't necessarily an old memory. I actually time traveled in that moment.
Well, I feel like you brought it to the now. I mean, technically everything is now anyway.
Okay.
So yes, you brought it to your current state, and you were there, and all that was really. You could probably go further with that and actually live that experience again.
Now, channeling, somebody mentioned that I have a connection with the book of Ezekiel. Can you see any connection there?
Yeah, but a lot of it's hidden. But yes, it is there.
Anything that would like to be made aware, or is it still for me to do in my own time?
Well, it feels like you're part of it. Yeah, Ezekiel's creation. That book. You're a part of that book in the Bible, definitely.
And talking about the Merkaba and the interactions with the channeling of the angelic beings coming through, speaking through them, in a sense, is what's happening in the modern day with people activating the Merkaba and doing channeling.
Well, you're helping knowledge to be known during that time. So yeah, you were letting the channel speak, you could say. To allow it to occur.
All right. That's cryptic, but yeah, I appreciate the confirmation on that.
There's more to it than that, but you just knew there's higher knowledge and others are tapping into it. You assist them in bringing it through.
Is that kind of like the wave that's starting to happen now, and more people in modern day today?
Yes.
All right, good. All right. Well, just
I mean,
By the way,
currently the Bible is being healed. It's being distorted a lot,
oh yeah,
but it's also because it's being brought, because churches are all talking about it constantly. It is being rediscovered, you could say, for what it truly is. Of course, many knock it down. That's where the Book of Enoch becomes more stronger here.
right. That's my criticism about religion. It's gotten lazy. It's still using 2,000-year-old interpretations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's well, yes, and a lot of those preachers are from the old world.
Right.
For obvious reasons.
So it's getting reinvented, in a sense. So I guess in a way to keep up with spirituality, but there is going to be like a religious kind of structure to it for people that are kind of easing off of it.
Well, to take the Bible and modernize it and see if you need those lessons anymore.
Okay.
No, which is quite a journey. I mean, does this apply to the modern world anymore? In truth, it really doesn't.
No.
But others try to continue it anyway.
Yeah, it's just a tool, Yeah, and it was early on in my kind of event, spiritual journey that I went through because I was raised in a religious traditional sense, so I used a lot of that traditional basis as like my foundation of growing forward. But eventually, you grow out of it. You don't really need it anymore. You get questions that come up that the old stuff can't be able to wrap its head around, so you just kind of wander off into where you find your answers. So it's just a natural progress. I see this happen with humanity where they're just not getting answers anymore.
Well, they're not always looking for it.
Exactly. Yeah. Right.
Well, they've gotten stagnant.
Exactly.
As usual.
Yeah, they got stagnant because their institutions got stagnant. Their governments, their religions, everything.
But religions or government is going to have a wake-up call in their future.
Oh yeah. The only thing that matters is just a matter of time.
Yes, it's not. It can't continue the way it is. It's already ill. It's already sick.
Yeah. The old stuff doesn't work anymore. There's no inspiration, no spirit for the people to keep it going. They don't feel like they have a dog in the race anymore. So.
Well, spirituality has lasted this long, at least to the religions, because they call it spirituality. So the rules don't apply to them. But they have been tested where that's why you have Martin Luther came in. So different religions do pop in every now and then, kind of to modernize it.
Yeah. So my opinion of religions, the world's got enough of those already.
Yeah.
It doesn't appeal to me in what I'm trying to do here. So. But yeah.
Well, religions are to put humans back in the ancient world.
Exactly.
That's really what it comes down to.
Pretty much, right. All right. Well, thank you for that. Blessings.
Okay, does anybody else want to go before me? Because I got questions about sun. All right. So when we're having these solar flares and we're getting bombarded by other like photons and electrons, and there's information that the Schumann is not picking up, or they deleting information.
Yeah, Schumann's not picking it up. To rely on something like that is inaccurate.
Okay, because I can go outside and see that the way that the clouds are, that something has come through.
Yes.
And
so yes. So you can also pick up crop circle energies, if I can say. You can.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very tied to that land.
Yes, relying on Schumann is not always the most positive for everyone. For some people, it's good enough, but for some of you, there's more to it. So yes, it is being manipulated, though, just like anything else.
Okay, because I watched like Soho and some of the NASA products this week, and I just saw us getting constantly bombarded by solar wind, electrons, protons. I saw the density, the gravity. I saw things that you just don't normally see. And I am feeling it tremendously. Being who that you were you also able to feel that
Yes.
energy? Okay. When
But
you
yes, I felt much of the land. Yes.
could you how did you could you tap into it? Did you
I didn't
find it
under
as an aid?
I didn't understand it. I felt the elemental energies or the other realms, like the Agarthan realms. I felt there was something there, but I did not quite understand it.
Okay.
Like fairies and elf people, I felt their presence, even if I didn't really see them. So, I mean, even ET beings, I felt them around me also. So, to keep me going on my path. When I felt as a failure, I wasn't accomplishing, I felt their presence. I thought I was an angel at the time, but now I know it's an ET being.
Well, my spirit guides are I have a fairy queen and I have a frog and I have another one, but I don't know what she is. I call her Rebecca.
Mm-hmm.
Will she tell you
Feels like a
what she is?
princess.
A princess?
Princess.
Was she like a fairy princess?
It feels like a Palladian princess.
A Palladian princess. Okay. She carries a different energy than the other two.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Very direct.
Okay.
She gives off like a grandmother energy.
Is that grandma that lives with me?
I feel like the one that's crossed over.
Yes, that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, the princess could be very young, like in her 20s, but she has still an old energy about her. Yeah, that's like your grandmother.
Yeah. Well, the ghost that lives with me, I call her grandma. She wandered out from an Alzheimer's home and died in the backyard, which I didn't know about.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess that was obviously planned now that she is a spirit guide, which I find pretty darn cool.
Yeah.
So
that's very common. Yes, very common.
So with the sun, is it being manipulated as well?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a portal, and is there stuff coming through it all the time? Is it controlled in any way?
Well, yes, it's being controlled. Well, you're not getting the power from it fully. So.
What about the other two suns? Isn't there one behind it and one behind us?
Yeah, but it's all hidden though, as you know. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do get the knowledge from them. You just get knowledge from them. But the main sun is being blocked. I mean, you're getting sunlight from it, but you're not getting its full power.
Would that sunlight? Okay, so they talk about the sunlight manipulating our DNA or like DNA upgrades, which, yeah, I as a child I could feel that. I could feel that warmth and being uplifted. But now I can't even stand to go outside because that those rays don't feel the same as when I was a child.
Mm-hmm.
Could you speak to that?
Well, yeah, it's the chemtrail energies. It's also the intention that's been put out there to give you a false reality. It's to control the weather.
Okay.
So they're using this weather technologies. That's why it doesn't feel normal. They can make it rain. They can make it cold, hot. That's why I don't like it. It's not natural.
Okay, so
it's not as natural as it could be.
No, because when a storm will come through, it feels like it sucked all that out, and it feels clean.
Oh, yeah.
Which feels level.
But that's a good thing. But not all storms are natural. Some of them have been created.
Oh yeah, and you can tell it when they they change the direction, or they punch a hole in the Sahara sandstorms that come over, and you end up with a hurricane class 4 coming through on the same path 10 years later.
Yeah, the Sahara has a lot of ancient knowledge connected to it, which creates the hurricane energy. Yeah, it's all, and the harp does have an energy in the Sahara. It's a weapon against the United States, so, which is government connected, of course. No, the weather is actually, the weather technology is separate than the government. I mean, there's a shadow government, but the weather kind of does its own thing. So you have different parts of government going on. So.
Okay. So are they controlled by more like the Navy, or?
Well, not necessarily has a name. They just do whatever they feel like. They don't always talk to everybody. They don't talk to this branch or that branch. They just do whatever they feel like. They have their own agenda.
So when you keep constantly hitting New Orleans, are you trying to uncover something? Are you trying to clean out the voodoo religion, or the fact that Rockefeller has a ton of bodies buried down in his national park down there?
Well, it's a ritual. Yeah, it's some things can't be explained, but yeah, they're not trying to wipe out New Orleans. No, but they are there to take the energies of New Orleans and send it to other places using the storm. Like after Katrina, there was a lot of devastation. A lot of that was New Orleans energy there. Like black magic.
But when the light picks up that energy, or that manipulated wave energy, and sends it somewhere else, then you're just transferring karma, correct?
Yes, correct. Yes, those that are doing this to the world are going to get their karma back. I mean, it's coming back to them. They can't escape it anymore. And that's why things are kind of breaking down. Maybe not fully, but yeah. Eventually, the crown will have the same effect. Because they've been putting their karma on other people, but it has to come back to them eventually. So it will.
Well, cause and effect.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Blessings.
Yes, hello.
Yes.
I have a particular question. So here in Canada, we have elections soon. Can you pick up on the fact if these elections are rigged?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, by the crown. Yes. Completely rigged. Yes.
Yeah. So I was thinking to volunteer as a scrutineer. Does it make a difference, or?
Well, you can do it if you want to. Whatever your heart desires.
So I would take it as a personal
Yes.
challenge and development.
Yeah, no matter if there's a corrupt government, you do what you need to do for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for myself. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is how I perceived it.
Mm-hmm.
My second question is a bit technical. So beyond the 3D reality, how can you, what is the mechanism to pull energy from the realms beyond the 3D?
Well, you're pulling it all the time through your mind, through just your thoughts. You can have higher dimensional thoughts or third dimensional thoughts. Third dimensional thoughts usually has to do just work, and I mean, you can higher dimensional thoughts can also be part of manifestation.
I was thinking more like technical, like to produce that the so-called free energy.
Well, it's not always meant to be on your world at certain times. I mean, you might want it, but does the world need it just yet? I mean, for your own self,
Yeah,
you
for myself.
you'll get certain downloads for it, yes. But it doesn't feel like you're gonna get the full download from what I can see. Not
Yeah,
yet.
not yet. Okay, yeah, okay. I think I
You're getting
get it.
pieces of it, but not the full thing just yet.
Well, I think there are steps, and I'm still trying to steer the ship towards really what matters for me.
It seems like there's no hurry for it just yet.
Yeah,
That's why it hasn't happened fast. You have other things to do.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
It's part of your journey, but it's a long-term journey.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's a confirmation. Thank you.
Yes.
Can you pick up on my van? I have a ABS sensor that it's broken. Front or left, left or right?
What about it?
So it kicks on my ABS, and when it kicks on, it stops my car braking and accelerating. So it's a bit dangerous.
Yeah, I would get it looked at as soon as you can.
Can you pick up on which one it has this function?
Well, it's a wiring problem that needs to be fixed. Only a mechanic can do it, if I can see.
Okay.
So it's very technical.
Well, I am technical. I don't mind. I
Well, if
know
you know
how.
how to, I don't know if you're that technical, but maybe you are. It's
Well,
technical. Well, a trained mechanic can fix it in no time. For you, it might take a little bit longer.
yeah. Well, it can be quite technical if it's something really electronics or something.
Yeah, it's complicated from what it looks like,
Yeah.
from a normal person's point of view.
Yeah. Okay. Super good. Thank you very much.
Yes. Blessings.
Blessings.
I just have to say, I love the scoop for asking Einstein for
Yes,
car
for a
help.
technical card. Yes, I just still don't know how to change the oil of a car.
Thanks,
I had
Einstein.
this thought before, but hey,
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
I ask you about
I-
free energy.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's true. Yes.
So
See,
yeah,
Einstein,
I agree.
you missed out on a lot of stuff by just being a brain.
Yes, I realize that.
Yeah. You
Yes,
could have
all
been a
mind,
mechanic.
no physical
Yeah.
interaction.
Oh, that's good. Um, I have two questions about uh, one that happened today during my meditation. I was kind of had the sense of a hole within my heart chakra, and I can you pick up on that, or do you have anything to say about that?
Well, it feels like loss. Like you didn't, like a sense of accomplishment has not been fully accomplished. Just well, within people, it feels like certain
Mm.
people in your life has not been like you can't always heal everyone. So I feel like
Mm.
there's a little bit of a lacking there, but there's not much you can do about it. Overall, if I can
Okay,
see.
a sense that I failed someone, or um,
Always has that. Well, I feel a mother energy there. If that sounds
okay.
about right.
That could be, yeah.
It's not
Um,
making itself completely clear, but it just feels like a lacking within your own, decision making, things that not go as planned as you'd like it to.
mhm. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, okay. Um, And another question about dreams that I've been having is always there's been the sense of like a right way and a wrong way, like every time I wake up, it's like, oh, it's like no, it's like two things are divided, and there's a right way and a wrong way, and it's kind of it's not really how I normally think. Is there a reason that I'm getting these example after example after example of um, almost exclusive? You know, if I choose left, I can't go right. That kind of idea. Does that?
Well, it seems like you're going into the timeline, seeing different scenarios. So you're playing out both scenarios at the same time. Go right or go left. So it seems
Right.
like astral, you're going both ways to see which one will work for you in the long run. So you're just looking at timelines differently than you have before in the past. You might be over analyzing it a little bit, but that's part of your process right now.
And that's part of your process too. Yeah. Okay.
That's true.
Okay. And there was in particular, there's a dream of perhaps it's related. There's a dream of people came in and they threw out this Chinese food I made in a wok, and they threw that away and put on some nice, good Western soup on the stove, saying this is better. And then I was going, oh no, that's wrong. And then connected to that dream, there was another thing of how I had some some kids that were all of a mixed race, and then they came, and then I got rid of those and got one nice white kid, and that time I approved of it. So on one hand, I was wanting to be like exclusive or inclusive and whatever, and the other one I wanted like pure blood or something like that. Can you talk about that strange thing?
The pure blood. I'm not sure if I'm understanding your question exactly. Is there another way?
Well, I didn't understand it. The why I would have. Okay, let's just go with throwing out the thing in the wok and then saying, no, this is the proper food. This is good white food, not this funny Chinese stuff. Could there be a reason behind that?
Well, once again, yeah, over part of you is analyzing the energy. You're analyzing the frequency or where the origins of where these things are coming from, it seems. So yeah, you're looking at the health frequency of it also, it seems.
Okay.
Yeah, but you are going into, it's like you're going into the molecules of some of these items. Yeah, you're also going into the origins of some of these food also. What it looks like.
So I just should just relax and not worry about this kind of stuff, I guess.
Well, I mean, you can analyze it, but it doesn't mean it's always going to give you the answer that you're looking for. But you can continue that if you want to. It will make itself known, but right now you're just processing everything right now.
Okay. Sounds great.
Yes, it's kind of a complicated situation.
Maybe you're picking up on the racism in Canada against the Asians.
Oh, that could be, yeah.
There's some of that, yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that, yeah. Very strange. One of the things I loved about this, there was a channeling with I think canines about, and we were talking. I'd asked about racism, and here racism is about, we kind of look for like pure, getting back to the pure blood, and Egypt royalty wanted pure blood and everything, and then the canines answered, oh yeah, there's racism here, but it's the opposite. It's people that don't have a lot of mixed, DNA. It's people that have less. People that have less information are considered poorer. So, yes, sir. I found that quite fascinating. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Sorry.
With the Asian energies, it does feel like it's a part of you that you are, it's looking into. It seems. Like what part are you what part you're connected to that lineage,
Okay.
which is also very connected to the dragon. So,
Okay. Yes.
I mean,
Okay.
a lot of society, the modern world is influenced by Asia. So that's probably, because you remember simpler times, and how do you come from simpler times to nowadays?
Hmm.
So it seems like you're remembering some of your past. It feels like.
Okay. Good.
At least that's what I can pick
Thank
up
you.
on.
Yeah, I'm mixed, and I have all the information of both races.
Yeah. What is necessary? Yes. Yeah. You have them there for a reason. And not all information will come through just yet. Not yet, at least. So it's going to be a mystery there for now. Yeah, with the duration of life, will start opening up more.
Oh, I've got two questions. If nobody else is ready,
Yes.
Go ahead, Mike.
okay, yeah. So, any messages from my dog Zoe? That's my that's over me. That's my spirit guide. Any messages from her?
Well, just that the cat is there to help balance your frequency, because the energy has been kind of all over the place, and just basically for you to sharpen your skills. And also, yes, that you just make the energies there a lot calmer, because it is very thick there. So
Okay.
eventually it'll make it more. It's going to take a while for the cat to really clear out a lot of stuff there. It's going to at least a week or two.
Okay. And my second question is, I have an 11-year-old daughter that lives in Florida, and she never calls me or anything, but all of a sudden she starts calling me, and I ask her what she wants for Christmas, and I know that she's a good soul.
Mhm.
But she should already have a phone, but as you can feel, her mom has a lot of reptilian in her, and her step parents have a lot of archon and reptilian. So they don't want to get her a phone because she can talk to me. But anyway, so moving forward, the what I'm asking you is I asked her, I said, what do you want for Christmas? Because I have to have a surgery. I'm not gonna have a lot of money. But she says, Daddy, I want a phone. And I'm like, okay. So she never calls me or talks to me or anything.
Mhm.
I just want to know if she really loves me and if she's been taught or manipulated to not like me.
No,
And about the phone.
but she doesn't need a phone. She's only 11 years old. She's just gonna play with it. It's just a toy.
Yeah.
She has a phone, so she can get a fake phone. It would be just as good. So it's just basically an adult toy anyway. Really gets out to it. I mean, it has communication connected to it, but she's so little. She's better off without it actually, because she needs to develop social skills, and that's probably not the best way of doing it. But for loving, yeah, there's some manipulation, but she has a lot to talk to you, so that says a lot. So she's
But
not that manipulated though.
but I bought her iPad 2 Christmases ago and it disappeared because my ex-wife I think did something with it
Yeah.
because her and I were text messaging back and forth
Mhm.
and FaceTiming and stuff and then it disappeared. So I think they did that on purpose. Uh actually I know that. And
Yeah.
so with the phone, at least I could talk to her and text her and FaceTime her because she's 3 states down.
Mhm.
That's 10 hours away. I can't see her or it hurts me. That's my daughter's
But
everything to me.
yes, but with the phone, they're just gonna silence it, just like they did with the iPad. So just be aware of that.
Okay.
They're not gonna.
Well,
Even if you did get her a phone, they probably won't let her have it. From what it feels like.
what I
Maybe
was
every
thinking.
once in a while.
Well, I was thinking about maybe going in with my ex-wife that is in
Mhm.
a hive's mind with her evil step parents.
Mhm.
So maybe if we come up with a deal like, hey, we all go in. What do you think about that?
It's possible. I don't feel like they're gonna be that thrilled about it, but there's a possibility of it.
Okay.
I don't think it's
Well,
gonna help you talking to your daughter though. I feel that they're gonna still cut that time off. So
I believe that too. Yes.
yeah. So
Okay. So
that's
I'll let
that's
Bobby have the floor. Thank
that's
you.
it.
Blessings.
Yeah, thank you. I just was curious to know when you were guys talking about weather and weather manipulation earlier. I came across this one place in Venezuela that's the most electromagnetic on the planet. And I was looking to see what's happened there energetically, as far as manifestation and, manipulation going on there.
Well, it's like Venezuela isn't really part of the world. It's on its own kind of continent. It's experimenting.
Are they trying to
So yeah.
protect that area by making it dangerous to visit?
Yeah, it has a lot of, like you said, electromagnetic. Yeah, it has a lot of energy around it that's unusual compared to other places.
Yeah, thunderstorms every night. It's light works there. So I was curious to see it. Are they protecting something there? Is there's some sort of manipulation happening with the energetic grids on the planet through that?
Well, some of your elite do live there,
Yeah,
but for criminal type of, yeah, they just don't. They just want to make it. Yeah, it's basically bankrupt in a lot of ways.
by
Um,
destabilizing that area, they kind of shoots out that signal to the rest of the planet. Through
mhm,
the high electromagnetic waves that are generated
mhm,
there.
mhm. Well, it's like sacred ground there.
Right.
There's alien knowledge there. I was planted there ages ago, and it happens naturally. It's not something that they're really. I mean, not really something that they're manipulating. It just happens on its own.
Right. But I'm saying
So
like they're just kind of keeping everyone out in a sense.
yes,
Point.
yes, they don't really have the full answer why it's like that, but they know it's like once again sacred ground.
Now I've heard like Pleiadians talk about planting spears into the ground in different locations. Is that a case where alien technology is planted in that ground?
Yes,
Okay,
yes, very advanced Atlantean knowledge is there actually,
interesting. Yeah, because
buried and forgotten.
I felt called to that randomly, and it's just on the back of my mind. Thank you
Mhm.
for confirming that.
Yeah, it's just a lot of stuff was hidden, and that's one of its hiding spots.
All right.
So yeah, it's not going to make a whole lot of sense. It triggers certain weather anomalies there.
Yeah, I'd love to visit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. Blessings.
Yes, blessings.
Does it have to do with the crystals that are there and the crystal caves?
Part of it's similar to Mount Shasta there.
Okay.
Mount Shasta is very unusual on its
Yeah.
own.
Yeah.
There's a lot of mysteries there that your third dimensional human, even your elite can't figure it out. Even your aliens are not there to bring the knowledge through, not yet. At least.
Is it a much higher dimensional knowledge?
It was at one time, yes. It can be now. Well, there, yes. Eventually, it is quite peaceful there. Well, it can be. It is a lot of natural resources there that are unusual to other places.
Hmm. Kind of that would help with our AI technology.
That would help with it. It has nothing
Yeah,
to do
like
with.
minerals.
I don't believe it's used for any of that.
Okay.
That's how I'm saying. More crystal energies are there.
Okay.
Chile has more of that stuff for the AI stuff.
Okay.
Maybe Argentina, mostly Chile.
Untapped resources.
Yes.
Could you talk? We were talking earlier about the crop circles and my connection to the crop circles. Can you speak more about that?
Well, just that you feel, from what I can tell, you feel that they're being formed. You might not fully see it, but you're part of that collective that did build them, or is still building them today. So,
Can you say who that collective is?
well, there's Arturians that are involved with it. That's one
Are
of the
there
races.
angelics as well?
No, mostly ETs.
Okay.
No, the angelics don't need to do that. I mean, there might be some Andromedans that do it.
I mean, I can appreciate the geometric designs of what they're doing. I have no clue what they're trying to convey unless it's coming through my subconscious.
Mm-hmm.
Am I picking up on that way?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
There's some kind of code in those crop circles, correct?
Yes. And some of them are weather codes to heal the weather. Of course, to heal the inner earth. A lot of it's just to cool down some of the weather anomalies that's happening here.
You're talking about going to the inner earth and Admiral Byrd. Did the United States kind of, I don't want to say invade, but did they go in there and try to do something stupid?
Well, they went in there, not necessarily something stupid. When they did afterwards, yes, they did all kinds of things they should not have been doing. I mean,
Were they able?
they had a partnership with the Nazis also.
Yeah, I know about that. And were they able, the inner earth, were they able to protect that technology?
Yes. Well, they're still kind of battling the humans here. There's still interaction going on, as you probably can tell.
Yes, and I can feel it as well.
Mhm.
And is that part of my military astral aspect?
Well, yeah, to protect the inner Earth, yes. We
Can you
also
speak
connect.
more about that?
We're connecting much with the crystals here to protect the Earth. I mean, there are humans in inner Earth right now that probably should not be there, but they're there anyway. Planted by government officials. They just couldn't get enough of the place when they finally discovered it. So they're told to keep out, but they didn't listen.
It's an endless beauty, though.
Yes, but also endless manipulation there too. As you probably know.
Yeah. All right.
On
Thank you.
multiple levels. Yes. It's a little bit of Gartha has a light side, a dark side to it. So the humans just went to the dark side. Not all of them, but some of them did.
And that's also where we get our fairy realm and our dragons too, as well.
Yes, that's where a lot of the politicians are being mind controlled from Gartha, from the darker side of Gartha.
Kind of like our dark elf in charge of
Correct.
a particular national concern.
Yes. You can see a dark elf manipulating governments because they have an agenda for their own reasons. They're not going into their reasons behind it. But yeah, they use humans as a puppet, basically. Right now,
Yeah,
at least.
He's all ego.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you.
Blessings.
Yes, hello.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a short medical question. So I'm super interested in seeing what's happening when you bring self-awareness to your physical body. So if you look at the pathogen cell who is like in like attacking mode, or how you call it, addiction mode, addiction, I don't know how to say it. So let's say who's not helping, when you bring self-awareness and that this God energy, how does this cell change? How is it changing? Is it starting to contribute to the physical body, or
Well, yes, it does affect the physical body. Yes, in a positive way.
so a cell that is, let's say, negative, a virus or a bacteria that is
Mhm.
negative, when you bring self-awareness to that cell, it changes its function, no?
It can, depending on how powerful you are, and if you're meant to do it. Because sometimes it's a contract where you're not contracted to heal it. Happens all the time.
Yeah, but if I go beyond, well, I don't see I have a contract of not doing it, not healing it. I see that I can do some healing, and I'm just curious what's happening with those parts of the body that were affected.
Well,
So
some of those cells are dying. They get
uh,
very weak. The immune system breaks down. It affects the heart and the liver. Usually the heart. If the heart's not functioning right, that means everything else kind of goes with it. That's why the disease actually attacks the heart. I say the liver, but I believe it's mostly the heart. They can't figure everything out here. I think they
well,
can.
from what I understand, I understand that the liver, it's the one who's actually cleaning the physical body
Yes,
of
correct.
toxins, and
Mhm.
actually the liver has its own immune system.
Yes, it does. Mhm.
And so you're saying that if a cell, like a virus or a bacteria, depends how strong it is, uh, you- so if you bring awareness to it, my personal awareness, it's dying, can it change into something
Yes.
else?
Well, it depends. Like yourself, yes. So with you, you'll just find other things like to eat to give yourself energy. Some kind of raw food or something like that to build up your immune system. You just get a
Yeah,
message on how to heal it.
yeah, I do that. Yeah, I see that it's a must for
Mhm.
me, and
No,
I actually enjoy it.
no. So, well, with you, you're always working on your body to heal it. So I don't say a disease really working with you. I mean, obviously that can always happen, but we don't. We feel like you're not on a disease timeline because you're always healing it.
Well, I'm you're right about that. Not disease timeline, but I when I tune into my body, I see a lot of pains. I'm like, whoa, like a
Yeah, there's gonna be pains though. Yeah, it's not gonna be perfect. It
yeah.
has to do with aging, so it's growing pains.
Ye- Well, some of the things I had them since I was 5, 6,
Well,
7 years old.
yeah. Well, that has a lot to do with your soul. It comes from your origins of where your soul came from. It's not really adapting to your body very well. It's like a zeta soul coming into a human body. The body does a zeta operates so differently. So your soul operates so very different than how a human operates. So yeah, there's going to be some ailments there. It's not going to be
Yeah.
100%.
Do I have a zeta uh,
Mm.
way of being?
Some, like about 3 or 4%. Yeah, there's some.
Yeah.
It has to do with your intellectual connections.
Yeah. Well, I find it very strong, but I
Mhm.
also its strength. I used it to overcome this Zeta strength. So this is the way I found to get out of my mental mind.
Well, yeah, your human self is healing your Zeta self. You say
Uh-huh.
what you're learning from the human experience is helping that.
Hmm. Super interesting.
Mhm.
Thank you very
So
much.
yeah, so like if you had another incarnation here after this lifetime, you probably won't have the ailments that you have right now, but you'll have a whole different body cycle, and you'll have some other thing you need to conquer. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, well, those deep pains and stuff. Well, I kind of enjoy them because I it helps me grow. It helps me realize who I am.
No, yes, exactly. Yes, it all serves a purpose. Definitely. That's
Yeah. It's very powerful, but also very painful. And but I got used to it. I'm with
yes,
this this stuff, the human stuff.
yes, of course,
It's crazy.
of course. Blessings.
Thank you.
Yes, I just want to ask you about a Palladian female that I have. I guess it's not really a relationship. She likes to be called Amanda. But before you go into that, I have 12 Palladian children and hybrids, of course. So that means that I would be human. So
Mhm.
was that of this lifetime?
Yeah, it's this lifetime. I believe it's actually 24 now. The number went up.
24. Oh wow.
Mhm.
Okay.
It
Okay,
says
double
at
it.
24.
And can I ask how was they created? Like humans have babies, or was it
More DNA, it seems. Some kind of
DNA?
DNA, yeah, DNA exchange. Yes.
Well, who was the lucky lady Palladium that and were they from the same? Well, I guess they wouldn't be a lady. They
They're
wouldn't.
not really showing that. I mean, it could be them. They're not. Yeah, that's kind of blocked right now. Could be Amanda. They're not making it that very clear.
Okay, okay, and I'll ask this and I'll stop. Or is Amanda wanting to tell me anything or anything from Amanda?
Which is assisting your health the best you can, but yes, as you know, there's karmic energies that you're still healing. There's reptilian connections that you have that you're not always willing to explore to heal yourself. Seeing that reptilian past life energy will help you heal through this. Yes, it might be a little bit painful to see it, but also help you move forward at the same time.
Well, how could I do that? Because I will try to my best to get rid of it. But
Well, it's to basically use your intuition to remember your reptilian lifetimes. You can do
okay,
meditation or just use your intuition to tap into it. What would that lifetime feel like as a reptilian
okay,
being? Like, what did your higher self say about your reptilian lifetime? They'd probably say, "Yeah, you wasn't your maybe your best moment, but you're it's like you're kind of avoiding it. But if you when you're ready to not avoid it, it will heal it. You will feel better health wise.
and can I ask about my 24 children? It's
What
kind of
about them?
funny. Well, I mean, do they know me? Do they
Yes.
visit me?
Well, they don't all visit you at once, but yes, you do. Well, I guess sometimes you do visit them all at once. It just, yeah, they're all around the same ages. It looks like
Wow.
that's showing what
Oh,
age. I believe they're all kind of young. Well, I'm picking up
okay.
on. So yeah, there's that's yeah. It's like you have enough children not to fill a school, but enough to fill a classroom.
Okay. Thank you so much. Blessings.
What about um, when you had some interaction with people kind of in the health field, didn't you?
Yes. So
And were you aware of the viruses that they were developing back then?
yes, I knew there was nothing I could do about it though. I had to be careful that I won't get one of those their viruses. But yes, I was fully aware of it. Later in life, though, not early in life.
Okay, so you could see where that they were going with it.
Yeah, I can see their lies, and they lied a lot.
They still do.
Well, there was an agenda connected to it. Well, they're there to improve the science. So, and yes, the virus is there to take out the population. Just like the AIDS virus. The AIDS virus is definitely wasn't intended to go in that direction, but some of them are glad it did. Which is those that created the AIDS virus are getting karma, of course.
I hope he does.
Yeah.
Being that dark elf running around.
Mhm.
So when they create these viruses and they go into the DNA, I get I get a download about looking for specific types of DNA patterns. Am I connecting correctly to that?
Yes. There's also a lot of Zeta influence. Now, some Zetas have been hijacked, meaning like their own technology is stolen to cause some of those viruses. Meaning they're not. Doesn't mean that they're involved with it. A reptilian can do that. Use Zeta technology and so forth. Give it a download to a human. But a lot of it's a lot of Zeta technology or virus because some of these viruses have the alien DNA connected to them. That's why they're so lethal because they're foreign to humans, such as the AIDS virus that has alien DNA connected to it.
Was it more like a punishment?
Yeah, it's science. It's research. You can say SARS was a reptilian, had too much reptilian DNA connected to it. That's why people are dying left and right on it. So you have the watered down version today. Way
But
watered
they
down.
manipulated it but they manipulated it on purpose is what I'm getting.
Yes.
To give that watered down version.
Right. Yeah.
What I also know that there's studies on people in Scotland and Ireland, especially females, that are having a lot of problems with the way that the virus attacks their uterus. Can you speak to that?
Well, it's to close it down. Close down the uterus so they can't have children.
Is there any particular DNA that they're closing down to, or is it just the world?
Well, it's a parasite energy that they're using.
So it's non-discriminate.
That's correct.
There's no racism to this parasite.
It is there to affect some of the Black communities. Some of them.
Still on that, okay.
Mm-hmm. Some of the Caucasian, but mostly the Black.
Hazel's asking if it's etherical or psychological, and I think it's both. What do you think?
It's both, but a lot of it is psychological.
And some people volunteered to go out this way, or they're looking to go out this way because it is an easy way out, because it's definitely not, we don't have the freedom like we did 30 years ago or 40 years ago.
Well, it has its purpose. I mean, it's more than just as an easy way out. It has a lot of family reasons, healing the family or giving the family a lesson to learn to look deeper into their own reality. There's different connections there.
Okay, so bringing back so they had a whole agenda where separating the family was part of it, and so
Of course, yeah.
this manipulates it to bring families back together.
Well, interesting to break up the family. A lot of that's connected to the negative Pleiadians. The Nordic beings, they play a big role in that to destroy the family. Because they know a powerful world, the family is key. So you have to take that down. So, there's a upset grandmother or mother-in-law, whatever it might be, to derail everybody. And so on. You just want to make it, they want to build it to a toxic environment. Engineered. So, and they confuse people with all these intellectuals about family and all that. Psychiatrists, which psychiatry has good parts, but also doesn't always solve the confusion because of their teachings aren't there to, how they're educated is not there to solve deeper problems. It is to a certain extent, but not to go fully deep into it.
No, they have a plan that they're taught to do, just like the doctors are now
Right.
that are taught to do. My own family physician thinks outside of the box, and I'm extremely grateful for that because my body and DNA is like 1% of the population. I don't function like everyone else.
Well, you also have a rebellious nature about yourself, as you probably know.
Extremely.
So, and that's supposed to go against all, and that's part of your elemental connections, your Agartha connections, just to go against the whole system altogether.
So. What was I in Agartha? Because I haven't explored that world.
Well, I see a fairy princess, but also a tall fairy. So you're very connected to the unicorns. They also see you with a bow and arrow.
Yeah,
like a warrior, but it wasn't always war. But there are a lot of warrior lifetimes there.
Yeah.
That's my point of yours. I mean, you've been a tall elf, also. So.
Just extremely connected to nature.
Yeah, protecting it.
Yes.
Yeah, protecting it from the human, you can say, but still understanding of the human. Yeah, well, yeah, your energy is very disappointed in humanity, as you already know.
Yes.
Because it doesn't want to know. It's not curious enough. It's sort of curious, but not as it could be.
Yeah, I remember a quote that you had about asking questions and curiosity. I can't even remember it now, but it was straight and to the point. So, all right, I'll let someone else go. Thank you so much.
Yes, Pussy.
You guys want to go? I just have one personal question to wrap up, so you guys can ask yours if you want to.
I'll go. So I had a dream that this might be delicate. It was a dream where there's a classroom where everyone was a Nordic. Are those my children or is like colleagues of mine?
Feels like colleagues, but you've had a situation where those have been your children also. It feels like you're here to learn from other mistakes. Not necessarily your mistakes, but mistakes of other colleagues and other children of yours. It's like you're cleaning up some of their mess, it seems.
Oh, Archangel Ariel told me my music is like the 12th dimension or 24th, and that's you're also people like you are also from that dimension. Is my music too intellectual, or do I need more heart in my music?
There is some heart. Yeah, it is very intellectual actually, but that's not a bad thing. It's just not. I mean, you're doing it for yourself, which matters most. So you feel like you need to go through the process that's right for you. If you need to add more heart to it, please do. But it feels like you just need to process as you're doing now.
Oh yeah, I wanted to ask about the animals and the intellect that Michael brought up. Is a jumping spider is one of the most intelligent animals relative to its size. So is that actually like the most intelligent animal?
What animal is this?
Jumping spider.
That's yeah, that is a smart being, yes, but there's so many different intellectuals that are, intellectual energies that are. To say what animal is the smartest is not, there's really no answer to that. But it is a very intelligent animal, though, or arachnid.
Me and my dad connected to the spider, and there's also the spider related to France.
Yes, but there's actually spiders that come from the ocean. Of course, you don't see that here anymore, but at one time, I'm talking about giant spiders came out of the ocean at one time. They came through you can say a portal, you can say. So, those are different times.
Spiders we have on Earth evolved from aquatic, and scorpions too. They evolved from aquatic creatures.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of them in Africa, of course. Everything's in Africa because Africa itself is pretty much a giant portal. Everything's a portal, but Africa is the true portal. That's why it's so difficult to live there. There's just too much there.
I had a dream with there's a famous tech CEO, and I was wondering about this. We were like it was like it's like a underwater type of pipe with black creatures. Like, what were we doing with those?
I feel like you're talking to them. Some kind of conversation. It was secret. It's still going on today. It's basically protecting the Earth. We're not going into details. At least here, they're not going to go into details. But whatever it is, it's very secretive.
Oh, they say you like to visit Japan. Do you have any connections to Japan, or any message you want to talk about Japan?
Yes, you have connections to actually Singapore. You're part of early Singapore development in the ancient times. Before it was called Singapore. But yes, you do have Japan connection. I feel like Singapore is the strongest. Because that's more of an advance. I mean, Japan's advanced, but it seems like Singapore is actually more advanced. At least now it is.
Yeah, it's kind of like Tokyo and London put together.
Correct, yeah. And some communism, unfortunately. A version of it, is there.
Yes, I was wondering why I have such problems with insects. Like when I go out my backyard and I try to ground myself and meditate, I'm there's always ants, flies, bees.
Mm-hmm.
And they bother me more than anybody else. Would that be the lifetimes and the SSP?
Yeah, correct.
Being on Mars.
Yeah, they're weaponized to attack you. So they sense to come after you.
Even still here on Earth.
Well, because you still have that energy with it, you can release that. You just gotta keep releasing that connection, and then eventually they won't do that anymore. It's just that you have the cell memory of it, and they can pick up on it. They're just attracted to you. They don't know why they're attracted to you. They just are.
Would they bite me or sting me? Because I don't hang around. I get out of there.
No, some of them will, yeah, eventually.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, well, I'll leave it to Bobby. Blessings.
Blessings.
All right, thank you. Thank you again for coming in. I just had like one personal question. I feel like I'm on the cusp of like the next or a whole new chapter in my life. Let's see if you have any messages.
Well, on a spiritual level, yes, you're going deeper into your subconscious. So yeah, it's connected to the Bible because you have Bible connections. More of that would become like a 3D reality to you. It's like a virtual reality. So doesn't mean you can dive into that because I feel like you're healing portions of yourself there.
Yeah, yeah. There's still
So
stuff there, but I'm not really focused
you don't
primarily
have to
on.
focus on that, but it is a good experiment for you.
Yeah, seems
Like,
like.
well, like the Bible is like, okay, what do I need to heal from the Bible, and what comes to mind? And we get the energy of Deuteronomy for some reason.
Interesting. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot loaded
Yeah.
of information and old laws there.
Yeah, you're part of, just like you are part of this. Back then, you're part of the spiritual awakening there. Also,
Well, do
yeah,
you see what kind of form I was? I was human at the time.
yeah, you're human.
Okay.
Now, were you a figure in the Bible? That's up to you to discover.
Yeah, I feel like I've got traces.
I
I can.
believe, yes,
Right.
you've been some prominent beings there.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So, not necessarily in a negative way, just in a spiritual way.
Yeah, yeah. I'm open minded. I'm not judging myself for my past
Mm.
decisions. This is as far as I'm concerned. I just need to know so I can be able to process it and just release it if necessary.
Well, it's similar to how you are right now. You saw yourself as a teacher in those times. You just knew that there was a higher purpose, and you were spreading the word, whatever word you had at that time.
Is it that nudge in my gut that I'm always incarnated with? That
Yeah.
feeling of something they're missing that I'm
Yeah.
always eternally searching for?
Yes, correct. So it's what's interesting. You're more out in the public in those times than you are now.
Right.
So you're always connected to new people in your past during the biblical times. Of course, everybody was. But now you're doing it on a different level.
Yeah, yeah. It's a different approach right now. Not very comfortable about even trying to be successful because I see what it does and how it traps people here. Like as far as famous is concerned, I want to be effective and successful as far as the mission that I came here to accomplish. But if
Mhm.
nobody ever knew that I did anything of any significance, it's no, bother for me. I'd rather just have it like that.
Well, you're doing it now, but you have you just keep a low key of it.
Right, right.
So you are making a big difference by the questions that you ask and what you're doing, like just currently, even just with being here. And
Right.
so, yeah, you just choose your places of being public. That's all.
Yeah, and
Because
when the time is right, and I feel like I have a bigger role or part to play, or if I just get frustrated to the point where I feel like I need to do something to help push that curiosity in people to make them see start wanting to ask questions more.
yeah, in your past, you're just more outgoing and more part of society. So in this lifetime, you're sharpening much of your skills. You're particular in who you connect with. More
Right.
particular now than ever before.
Yeah, finding somebody that you can open up to without them, using it against you later on.
Correct.
All right. All right. Well, thank you very
All right.
much. Blessings to you.
Yes, I bet it's be going also. To send you all energies from the sun and the moon, and just send you math tips if you need some. But yes, the secrets of the universe is within all of you, but just what is necessary, because you're all putting the pieces together, of course. So blessings to you.